Right, hello YouTube. I've got in my hands a BMW DDE or ECU. Okay, so that's the Bosch part number, but we'd rather go with the EDC 17C50. I'm using the multi-prog to read this ECU and also read the ISN number. That's the important number that enables us to add key or to make a key for BMWs. So there's these little connectors here that go into, okay, I'm just going for this negative, this ground number 2, which is down here. I just want you to see so that you have, there we go, that's pushed in, see? Okay, and then let's do the positive. Let's do the positive side. There we go. So that's the positive pushed in as well. Okay, so we will be putting in, see, when you look at these two connectors, you can see the difference. One is rectangular, one is circular. So these little circular ones are for gearbox connections, for transmission control modules. Right, so these are the ones that we want to go with when we do ECU reading. So right down here there's number 19. Right, that's number 19 and that's number 18, the second one in. So we come here to that one, like so. So I'm not going to bore you with the rest of these connections. I'm just going to pause and then come back later. So now that we've got all the connections in, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this side, and if you look on the screen, oh well, it's a bit hazy, but anyway, we'll put the red on this one. There we go, like that. It's very simple, guys. And then the negative, we connect it like so. And then we have the blue. That's the blue, which is going there. Come on. There we go. And then the purple. The purple one is going there. Oops. Right, so now we just left with these two right here on this end, and that's them two. And it's the gray one. So the gray one is going there. There goes the gray. And the last one is the yellow. And there goes the yellow. Like so. Okay, so that's, oh, We haven't done the green. Right down the bottom here we have the green one, and so that's all the connections in. Okay, so now that leads us to this ECU adapter, which comes right at the back, right here. It goes in there and we screw that in. Right, guys, it's really important that, you know, from time to time you get to see the connections, how they really go in. So it's like so, and that's going into our ECU. Right, so with all the connections in, we switch on the multi-prog. Right, and of course we have our ECU connected. We did the connections together for the ECU. Right, so now we come out of this, so we can see right there we have the internal EPROM and the internal flash. Right, so if you look down the bottom, it says device communication successful. Okay, so now we are going to start with the internal EPROM, and we click on read. Right, you see that little signal? So we've got everything set up, and we click read. So you can hear all the clicks that the connections are okay with computer sending and receiving data. And there's a little bit of action right on top. So we are reading the internal EPROM. Really taking its time. I really like to keep these recordings real time, so you get a feel of how long it takes to do an actual read. But at times it takes too long, and I don't want to wind up having a video that's lasting like 30 or 40 minutes. That's just too long. So I think for now I'll do just cut it off and then come back when we're making a bit more progress. Finally it reads, and you see there it says internal EPROM. So that took 4 minutes and 16 seconds. And I have what we believe is the VIN number right there. So that's the EPROM read. Right, so we read our internal PROM, we saved it. Now we go into the internal flash and we click read. So the flash takes a bit longer, or a lot longer than the EPROM. So I'll be switching off and then coming back when we're just about to finish reading the internal flash, and then we save it and we move on. Right, as you can see, it says internal EPROM. No, sorry, we are reading the internal flash right now, and we've come to 100%. And so I've only owned this multi-prog for about a week. It hasn't let me down, and I think you've already seen in another video where my hotel let me down, and the multi-prog did good. So there we go, successful read in 7 minutes. So I'll be saving this file, and we try to turn the emo off on this one. All right, so we go to turn off emo. So we get to load the file. It's on the desktop. This one. We click open. Turn off the emo. Are you sure? Okay. Successfully generated. So the immobilizer has been turned off. Okay, so we save this one as emo off. Right, so we'll save it on the desktop as well. Okay, so we come out of this and we go into internal EPROM, which we want to compare. We need to compare that with our emo off file. We click OK. Right, there's the differences. This is the original file, and we've got 30 and 08. We come here, it's 02 and 02 now. 32 2D is now 15 FE and 14 FE. and the one is 3130. So you can see, guys, the immobilizer has been turned off, and this is the immo off file. Okay, so we want to exit and then open a file, immo off. We open it. Right, so that's the immo off file, and we are going to write it now. We are going to write it sending and receiving data. So now we've started to write the immo off file onto our ECU right here. So you can hear the clicking from the multi-prog. So we are doing all this on the bench mode. Sending and receiving data. Some more clicking from the ECU. It's a good sign of communication between the laptop and the multi-prog. There we go. Now we are writing that data. Data writing succeeded. There we go. So now we need to read the ECU. Now we are reading what's written on the ECU. We then compare it to our immo off file. You can hear the click. Again, communication is on. So I'll come back when we have more progress. It's reading. Right. So it's finished reading. And we click compare. We need to compare our read to that immo file, immo off. See, the two files being compared are the same. So before we even go in, it's already told us that the two files are identical. So we click OK. So this is the one with the immo off, and this one is immo off. So everything is the same, exactly the same. So guys, this BMW F30 has been successfully we have managed to remove the immobilizer. Thanks for watching.